Hello, welcome to this session on the subject Design of Machine Elements 2, subject code 18ME62 of VTU. So in this session, I'll be discussing on the estimation of the dynamic loads and wear loads in case of spur gears. The velocity factor. So the inaccuracy while cutting the tooth profile or tooth spacing or variation in the applied loads or repetitive type of loads, this will cause the impact and fatigue. So these become more severe when the velocity or pitch line velocity of the gear increases. So therefore, to permit for these additional stresses, a parameter called velocity factor is introduced in the Lewis equation. So the expression for that I will show later. So here this is basically developed by a person called Karl Barth, and it is expressed in terms of the pitch line velocity only. So the values of these velocity factors are tabulated in page number 205 of the design data handbook. So we have the velocity factor given by CV is equal to 3.05 by 3.05 plus V. This is for the ordinary cut gears with a pitch line velocity up to 8 meters per second. And then we have one more expression, that is CV is equal to 4.58 by 4.58 plus V. This is for carefully cut gears with pitch line velocity up to 13 meters per second. Then we also have CV is equal to 6.1 by 6.1 plus V. This is for very accurately cut gears and ground metallic gears with the pitch line velocity varying from 6 meters per second to 20 meters per second. And we also have CV is equal to 5.55 by 5.55 plus root V, and this is for hardened steel, ground and lapped precision gears, so with the speeds over 20 meters per second. So these are the expressions for velocity factor that we have from the design data handbook. The equations from the design data handbook I will show in the coming slides. So the permissible static bending stress for the gears has to be modified by using the velocity factor CV. That is, it is modified as sigma d into CV. So wherever sigma is there, we multiply it by CV. So this is for taking into account the fatigue and the dynamic loads. So next let us see what are nothing but the dynamic load acting on the gears. So when the gears are rotating at slow speed, uh, the transmitted load Ft can be considered to be the actual force that is present between the two machine teeth. But as we know, the gears generally rotate at higher speeds, so therefore it becomes necessary to consider these dynamic forces which is resulting from the impact between the mating teeth. So when the speed increases, this is especially the dynamic force will come into the picture. So we cannot just take Ft for calculations, we have to calculate the dynamic load. So these dynamic forces may be induced due to the following factors. So there may be inaccuracies while cutting the tooth profile. or there may be errors in the tooth spacing. There may be misalignment between the bearings, also may lead to the additional loads, or maybe the elasticity or modulus of elasticity of the materials, as well as the inertia of the rotating masses which may be kept on the shafts, or maybe the load which is not distributed uniformly across the face width of the gear tooth. So the dynamic load may be induced due to many of the factors. So in order to take this into account, we need to find out the dynamic load. How to find out the dynamic load? So there are two methods basically to account for the dynamic load. So in the early or preliminary stages of the gear design, we can have an approximate estimation by using the velocity factor CV in the gear design, and then we can have the precise estimation by using the equation derived by the person called Buckingham. So that's called as Buckingham's equation. So that can be used in the final stages of the gear design. So in the final stage of the gear design, when we know the size or dimensions of the gear, the errors specified, and the quality of the gears determined, so then the dynamic load can be calculated by using the equation derived by the person called Buckingham. So according to Buckingham, the dynamic load is calculated by adding to the tangential tooth load an incremental load Fi. So this considers the factors uh, for the dynamic action. So that is, the equation is given by Fd is equal to Ft plus K3V into Cb plus Ft divided by K3V plus root of Cb plus Ft. This equation is given in the design data handbook, equation number 12.12. So this incremental load, this part depends upon the pitch line velocity, that is V, the face width B, the material of the gears, the accuracy of cut, and also the tangential tooth load Ft. So here K3 is a constant, so in SI units its value is given as 20.67, and this depends upon the whatever the error uh, between the gear teeth. So that is, error is represented by small e, and where C, capital C is nothing but the deformation or dynamic factor which is in Newton per millimeter, which actually depends upon this machining errors, that is E. So for finding out the deformation or the dynamic factor C, we have an equation given by small e over K1 into 1 by E1 plus E2. So where here the K1 represents a constant that depends upon the form of the teeth, whether it is 14.5 degree or 20 degree full depth or 20 degree step. So you can see the values here. So K1 is given by 9.345 for 14.5 degree full depth, 9 for 20 degree full depth involute, and 8.7 for 20 degree stub teeth. And E represents the error while cutting the teeth, and E1 and E2 represents the Young's modulus or modulus of elasticity of the pinion and gear respectively. So the table number 12.12 gives the value of the dynamic factor or deformation factor, capital C, which can be used in the equation for finding out the dynamic load. So this basically depends upon the combination of the materials for the pinion and gear, and the profile or the tooth form, whether it is 14.5 degree, 20 degree involute, full depth, or 20 degree stub form. So here we can see for the mentioned or obtained errors between the gear teeth, which is in millimeters. So these are the errors in the gear teeth. So that is 0.01, 0.02 to 0.15, and we can obtain the corresponding value of the dynamic factor C from this table. The error small e in the dynamic load equation given by Buckingham is the measured error in action between the gears in millimeters. So this error depends upon the quality of the gear and the manufacturing methods. So we have the table number 12.13, so which gives the probable error based on the class of the gears. So we basically have three classes of gears. Class 1 refers to the industrial or commercial gears. Class 2 refers to accurate or carefully cut gears, and class 3 refers to the precision gears. So we have the table for this, which I will show in the coming slides. Table number 12.14 gives the maximum permissible error, which is based upon the velocity or pitch line velocity. So this table 12.13 gives the maximum of probable error in action between the gears for the three classes of the gears discussed, that is class 1, class 2 and class 3 gears. So this depends upon the module of the gear teeth, that is starts from module number 4 up to 25. So from this we can observe the error value is very less for the class 3 or precision gears. It is it increases. So for class 2 the error is more, and for class 1 or commercial type of gears it is still more. It's almost 50% variation is there in the errors between these different classes of the gears. Table number 12.14 gives the maximum permissible error in action between the gears that purely depends upon the velocity. So here we can see for the velocity in meter per second starting from 1 meter per second till here 26 and over. So for that corresponding error in millimeter is shown. So from this we can take, depending upon what is the velocity, we can take up the value of the error in millimeters. Next, let us see what is wear load in the design of the gears. So in gears, one of the mechanism of failure is pitting or surface pitting. So the failure of the gear tooth due to pitting takes place when the contact stresses between the two meshing teeth exceed the surface endurance strength of the material. So it is a surface fatigue failure. Pitting is nothing but it is characterized by small pits on the surface of the gear tooth. So in order to avoid this type of failure like pitting on the surface of the gear teeth, so the proportions of the gear tooth and the surface properties, especially the surface hardness, should be selected in such a way that the wear strength, so the wear strength of the gear tooth should be more than the effective load, so that is acting between the meshing teeth. So the analysis of this wear strength was done by Earle Buckingham. So in his paper, the relation of load to wear of the gear teeth, which was submitted to AGMA in the year 1926. So this equation derived by Buckingham is based on the Hertz theory of the contact stresses. So therefore, according to this, the wear strength is nothing but the maximum value of the tangential force that the tooth can transmit without the pitting failure. So the maximum tooth load from the point of view of wear consideration, as evaluated from this Hertz contact stress theory derived by Buckingham, so which is applied for pitch point contact. So that is given by the equation Fw is equal to d1 bqk. So this is the equation that that is derived. So this equation, this load what we got, that is this is referred to as the wear load. So this has to be more than the dynamic load that is there between the gear teeth. So this equation is given by equation number 12.15a in the design data handbook. So where d1 refers to the pitch circle diameter of the pinion in millimeter and b is the face width of the pinion in millimeters. So the term that is capital Q and capital K, which is there in the wear strength equation. So this capital Q is termed as the ratio factor, which is given by the equation either 2d2 by d2 plus d1, or it is equal to 2z2 by z2 plus z1, where d1 and d2 refers to the pitch circle diameters of the pinion and gear, and z1 z2 are the number of teeth on the pinion and gear respectively. Whereas we have the one more term, that is capital K. So that is nothing but the load stress factor, so which is given by the equation. Either we can use this equation to find out this load stress factor. So that is sigma es square into sin alpha by 1.4 into 1 by e1 plus 1 by e2, where sigma es refers to the endurance strength of the material, and E1 and E2 refers to the Young's modulus of the pinion and the gear respectively. So we can also find out the value of this load stress factor from the table. So we have the table for finding out the value of K, that is table number 12.16. So here the whenever the material, the pair of materials used are steel and 20-degree full depth profile is used, and then we can easily find out the value of the endurance stress. So by using this equation, that is sigma es is equal to 2.75 into bhn minus 70, where bhn refers to the average Brinell hardness number of the gear and pinion, that is when especially the steel is used as the material. And we also have the table number 12.15, which gives the value of the endurance limit of the materials for checking the beam strength of the teeth. So table number 12.16 gives the value of the K, that is load stress factor. Here we can see we can obtain the value of K from this table depending upon the material combinations and depending upon the form of the tooth or profile of the tooth. We can also obtain the endurance limit from this table. Here we have one of the columns in which for the given pair of materials we can select the endurance limit.